reality. At Set2Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Yay. Hello, everyone. I'm just so excited that you're here to join us this morning with Set to Love. I'm here with my best buddy, Eva Payne. So good morning. Today we are going to talk about what's in your way of flow and success. Are you excited about that, Eva?
I am. I've been thinking about it for 24 hours now.
What the four W's? The four W's. What's in your way? Can you help me with that? You're so good at it.
Your why? Yeah. Yesterday we did what's your why? Like, why is it even important? What is your why? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? So that's really important first to figure out what is your pull. Today is what's in your way. So what keeps you from doing that thing? Tomorrow is what's your work? So let's say what's in your way is fear. Then your work would be to work on your fear, right? And then Thursday is what's your worth? Why do it? Are you worthy of it? Why do you think you're not worthy of your dream and your deepest heart's desires? And then Friday, we've got author Sarah Gregg, and she's going to be talking about this amazing book, Find Your Flow.
And I love the book cover. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. This whole
She did an amazing job.
Look at
oh my God.
I mean, you can see how
I love it. I'm one of those too. When it comes to reading books, I love to have those visuals. So it's great. Well, we did get a question this morning, and the question is very similar to the title of our show today. Our question is, how do I know what is in my way of flow and success? So what do you think about that?
How does someone find that out? I think one of the things for me is to really look at what holds you back. So could it be, do you have fear? Is it fear that holds you back? Fear of success, fear that you're not good enough, fear that you're going to fail, fear that you don't have enough knowledge about the steps and what you need to do. Or is it a confidence thing? Sometimes we just don't have confidence. Sometimes we're perfectionists and it's like everything has to be lined up perfect before I can even start. So those are some of the things that I think hold people back, or that's at least held me back from really stepping into my flow, even when it's something that I know I really want to do, or I really feel pulled towards, or I can't get out of my head. It's like these little roadblocks come up in front of me, and it's a constant hurdle around different ones. These little, like, if I'm a river or if I'm a stream going down and I've got these rocks in my way, and one might be fear of this, and one might be confidence, and one might be perfectionism. And it's trying to maneuver around those things that hold me back. And first, I think it's even recognizing what is that thing that holds you back in particular from that dream that you really want to achieve.
Okay, but girlfriend to girlfriend here. Can you break that down even more for me? Can you give me an example of maybe something that you did have something in your way or whatever it was? You have lots of stories.
I started Project Kindle. I was 21 working at a radio station, right? And I had this idea, and I didn't want to tell anyone the idea because, first of all, I wasn't even sure if there was a need. So I thought, I need to do my homework. So I did a bunch of homework and found out there was a huge need for this thing. But then I didn't want to tell anyone I was doing it. I didn't want to share the idea with even one person, because once I told one person, I knew I'm going to be held accountable to this dream by at least that person. And what if I fail? What if this is some crazy, way out of my reach dream that I can't do? It took me months. I was working on this every day for months before I felt confident enough to start sharing it with not only my close friends and my family, but as I said, I was working at a radio station. So I'm talking to 200,000 people every single morning. And
Wow.
for me to be able to say to everyone, hey, so I'm starting a nonprofit summer camp for kids impacted by HIV. And remember, this was the time when there was a lot more stigma. There still is a lot of stigma around HIV, but then it was so much more. And I'm in Nebraska in the Midwest. Surprisingly, though, I had so much fear around that. Like, how are people going to receive this? Are they going to think this is weird? Or am I going to get a lot of pushback? So I just had so many different fears: fear of failure, fear that people wouldn't believe that I could even do it or would even stand behind me or would even want to support me in this idea, fear that I would get pushback because of the stigma. I mean, there was just so much stuff, and it took laying bricks every day on that path. I worked on it every day until I could gain enough confidence that I could really start to see this happening, and I wasn't going to give up on it. This was not something that I just had an idea one day and it left me the next. I mean, I was working on it for months before I finally had the confidence to start sharing it. And then once I did, it was as if every single boulder, every single rock in front of me just decided to move, because
Wow.
the river started flowing and the people started coming in and the synchronicities started happening. And that's when I knew I was really in my flow, and I was really needing to do this, because one thing after another was just working out and working out. And the grant writing class I needed was available. And the donor who I never even knew existed showed up. And my camp director appeared in my life and became one of my best friends. So it's really scary to start something new. And there's so many things that can hold us back. And once we realize what those things are and we just are willing to set them aside. I mean, even doing this live stream, right? You and I sitting here every morning. This is our second week doing it. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of, what if this
Yes.
work? Or what if I say the wrong thing? Or my gosh, do I wear my glasses today? Do I not? It's like dumb stuff. But these are things that we think about. And if we can just put them to the side and just stay focused on our goal and just move forward and know that there is no failing, there's only learning. Everything that you think might be a fail is really just a learning opportunity to get closer to what your deepest heart's desires are. All right, there's my TED Talk. Shelly, what do you
Wow,
think?
that was amazing. That was really great. And I can relate with you as far as fear goes. I mean, even just talking first this morning when we're used to letting you start the morning off, and I
Right?
didn't have time to think about it. So sometimes if you just go, and then you're capable of so much more than we even give ourselves credit for, because we're our own worst critics.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's important. I kind of was thinking about, this question um, uh, a few minutes ago. And one of the things that came up for me is your internal and your external focus on things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day, I had my cell phone sitting next to me, and we had been on our Set2Love podcast, and it was so distracting because, like, even I could see on the side of my eyes that it was blinking, and then you automatically want to look.
Right.
So my point is, sometimes just when you want to get in your flow and be in a good place, you need to get rid of your cell phone. You need to be off the computer. You need to have, just no social media. You really need to just be present, just like I am right now, listening to you, available to just listen to your feedback, and I can take it all in. And so then I feel like, okay, I've really learned something today because I've been 100% focused. Also mentally this morning, I have 19 things going on prior to this morning. I've been up since 5 this morning to make it all happen. You had computer issues with your son, and we need to be present right now. My point is, we need to be able to, even internally, let some of that dialogue go. If that means meditating in the morning before you start, if it means, once again, putting it on the shelf till you're ready to deal with it. Being present is, I think, a big part of internal and external. is really important to how you're going to be successful in being present, regardless of what it is that you're going to start. If you're thinking about 19 other things, you can't be present for being creative in what you want to do with your life or what job you want.
That's so true. I definitely, the most productive I have ever been was when I started Project Kindle, because there were no distractions. Cell phones didn't exist. This was 22 years ago. So I didn't even have any of that distraction, but I was so excited about what it is I was working on. Like we talked yesterday, what's your why, and really having a passion towards it. Part of my passion, before I even knew any of the kiddos and really what difference I was going to make, I was just passionate about creating something, like an artist to a canvas or a sculptor with clay. I just was so excited about creating a business, creating a company, and learning everything there was to learn about that, that I forgoed TV. I didn't go to parties. I didn't go to movies. I didn't go out with friends. I was so happy to just be right there in the present moment, working on this thing. Constantly, my mind was coming up with ideas. I mean, everything from what's the logo going to look like? What's the organization going to be called? What are bylaws? How do you create those? What steps, businessy steps, do I need to take? What is this summer camp going to look like? When you can become so consumed with what it is that you're so excited about, it's the fears or the distractions or the things that keep you from it melt away the more focused you can get. And that's where people really find flow states. When we talk about flow, Shelly and I talk a lot about flow as in like living in flow, really creating a life in flow. So you've got flow in your relationships, you've got flow with your health, you've got flow in your career. There's just
Yeah.
a way that you ride the moment that you are in with grace. That really is living with flow and living in flow. But flow states can happen when you have no distractions, when you are super dialed into that project right in front of you. And if you put your head down and you start working on whatever it is you're creating, whatever it is you're working on, you look up and 3 hours have gone by. You're like, what the
That's
heck?
such a flow state.
That is a flow state. And it's a really hard
Yes.
place. I don't know that we'd want to live there the whole time, because you're so dialed in. It's like my children can come into the room and start asking me questions and I don't even hear them. I'm so right there in the moment. So it's, flow states have their pros and cons, because you need to be available to the rest of the world sometimes also, or at least your own children when they call your name. But it's a beautiful place to be in, because you really just feel so connected to the project that you're creating. And when you can remove those distractions and really focus on what it is you're trying to work on, especially when you have fear. So I heard this guy, let me leave with this activity. I heard this guy talk about how do we form good habits. And he said, it's not, don't say 1 hour a day I'm going to do this, or I'm just going to 100% cut this thing out, or it's a lot harder to do an all or nothing, or to commit to a big chunk of time. He said start with 5 minutes and attach it to something that you're already doing. So if every single morning Shelly and I are getting together to do this, and I am committed to this and I'm excited about this, I might tack on something for 5 or 10 minutes. I'll just say 5 minutes. Like, let's just say I wanted to exercise. Maybe I wake up in the morning and one of the first things I do for 5 minutes is I do some jumping jacks and push-ups and sit-ups or jump rope or something, just 5 minutes. And I attach it to something I'm already doing. So if you have something that you love, like maybe you're just getting coffee every single morning, and while that coffee's brewing, you are doing that one thing, that one habit you're trying to incorporate into your life. So if that's trying to start something new, maybe you spend 5 minutes doing a little bit of research on something, or you spend 5 minutes sending an email or checking in with people that you love, because maybe you don't do that as often. So think about how you can attach something you're already doing to a habit that you want to create. And that's one way that you can get past the things that are in your way. You don't have to make it some big, huge thing. Start really small. Look at what's in your way and think, what could I do for 5 minutes a day that would help me get past this fear or this distraction or whatever it might be?
And I would say stay committed to the process. It's only 5 minutes, but you're going to do it for at least, they say it's 21 days to start a new real habit. So you make the commitment for 21 days for 5 minutes. I am going to
5
do
minutes.
blah, blah,
And then
blah.
5
5
minutes
minutes.
sounds so even if it's reading, right? Like, I'm gonna read a
Yes.
little bit more. I wanna try to read. Pick up the book and just read 1 page. Just 5
Yep.
minutes a day, attaching it to something you're already doing, you're already committed to, and that is one way to get out of your own way and create some more
Yes.
flow in your life. Yay, Shelly. Thank you
Yay. That
so
was
much.
great. All
Yay,
right.
that was
Have a
fun.
good day,
Okay,
everyone.
let me pop up here. Wait, which one is it? There it is. All right.
There
So if
we
you have
go.
questions, you can send it to us at Set2Love, the number 2, Set2Love podcast at gmail.com. Here's our closing screen. Set2Love.com is our website if you want more information about us or the things that we do. We love you. We thank you. Thank you so much for
Love
being a part of
you.
the show. And remember, tomorrow it's What's Your Work? What are the steps to live more in flow? Thanks, everyone, for being here. Have a great day.
Bye.